What's going on, guys? It's T90 and welcome back to the channel. This is a 1v1 Nomad game between two high-level players, and we have one of the more unique Civ matchups you'll see, Bulgarians against Lithuanians. In the blue, we have ACCM, and you can see his town center is going up as soon as possible. And in the red, same thing, we have BadBoy, who is not quite as well known, but he is a top 100 Vietnamese player, just like ACCM. Now, I want to first focus on how to start on Nomad, because I think there's a lot of people out there who are learning the game and just don't really know Nomad all that well. You want to get that town center up as quickly as possible on a wood line. Don't stress too much about it, just get it on a wood line, and then use one of your three starting villagers to build a dock. There will be a different approach between these two, which I'll explain, but the idea is you don't know if you're going to find any cows, you don't know if you're going to find any boars or deer. You have no guarantee of that, but you do have a guarantee of finding wood. And if you use your starting villagers to chop wood, you can then use the dock to make fishing ships and then get food income, right? So it's a bit different. But anyways, Lithuanians, probably the better civ for the start here. Lithuanians start with 150 more food. And Bulgarians, they're a civilization where you're probably going to have more mid-game bonuses. Their town centers are cheaper, they don't cost as much stone, and also they have the crepe post, which is going to be a focus of this game. Fantastic for Nomad to take map control, and fantastic if you'd like to make the conic. I think the Bulgarians are a civilization which probably doesn't get enough love right now. I know Doubt likes to play with them, but beyond that I haven't seen a whole lot. And so I wanted to bring this game to YouTube so you guys could see what the Bulgarians are all about versus the Lithuanians, and I can't tell you the last time I've seen this matchup. This might be the first time I've seen this matchup from high-level players. But just to focus on the start here, you see BadBoy producing, villagers sending them to wood. He has a fishing ship now on the way, and if you needed any confirmation that he's a good player, he's experienced enough to weaken the board with his TC and finish it off with the villagers there. So now he has some food income beyond this fishing ship. ACCM's approach is really freaking cool. And this is only possible with the recent update on DE. But now you can drop off food at docks. So instead of building the dock and then sending the villager back home, he actually has left this villager here to collect that 200 food shorefish. Which in my opinion is a great play. Because not only are you hurting for food a bit at the start, but also villagers collecting shorefish collects pretty quickly. So that's nice. And he has the option to make a fishing ship for himself pretty soon. There's 6 golds on this map. There's a gold to the south of ACCM's base, and I'll zoom out a bit further. You see there's gold here, there's gold here, there's gold here. So there's a lot of gold near BadBoy, as well as some golds over to the right-hand side. I don't know the exact stone counts. I think it's 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 6. Wait, 6. Sorry, I'm not too accustomed to what DE Nomad is. I know it's a bit different. So it looks like 6 stone piles and 6 gold piles, which is a lot. But on a tiny map, you could easily secure 2 or 3 of those things if you go aggressive in some way, shape, or form. Here goes ACCM using the same Nomad trick. You'll see players do this because they do not want their villagers to get hit as frequently. And you're bringing in boars when you have less villagers underneath the TC than normal. And look at ACCM now. He does not have any cows to scout. He might grab this one. And BadBoy, he's been using cows to scout the map. Again, high-level players play Nomad a bit differently. They're scouting with the cows to see where the resources are, and if they lose the cow, they might know that their opponent's over there. I think BadBoy has a suspicion that ACCM might be this direction. And again, you look at the dock situation, they're both adding fishing ships for some great food income. Now there's some styles you can take. You can go fast feudal to go fire ships. Especially if you know that they're docked close to you, you can clear out those fishing ships. Always a bit of a risk, though, because let's say ACCM is docked over here. It might take BadBoy some time to get over there, right? But you'll even see players scout the shoreline sometimes with these cows. And cows are kind of funny, man. They actually have a lot of line of sight in this game, but they move a bit slower. But the whole risk here of being Bulgarians, I guess, or not the risk, I guess the struggle, that'd be the better word, is that you're probably going to be slower to the feudal age. If BadBoy starts with an extra 150 food, he's likely going to click up the feudal age a little bit faster than you. Look at this play. He tried to use the cow to block the pig What a weird sentence that is. He's getting Loom now. Will he lose this villager? No, I think Loom comes in just in time. It could be super close, but I think he'll probably send another Vill and then hop into the TC with this one and be okay. Nice wall off so he can section off that part of the map. ACCM's got to be a bit worried now. As, okay, I'm just getting some anxiety because of the board lore. Okay, he's fine. But yeah, ACCM might be a bit worried if he sees these palisade walls because he's near the south of the map, right? He does have some stone and gold, but he'll need to expand in this one. I don't know how much I touched on this so far. This is actually my third attempt at recording this because I had 2 separate issues which were super annoying. But I don't think I mentioned it in this attempt. And ACCM, I would say, is probably the best player in Vietnam nowadays. You have ACCM and Bact, who are probably the top 2. There's quite a few players, though. You have Say My Name. You have Cool, who tends to play Age of Empires 1. And I think I could be wrong on this, but I think he's the best Age of Empires 1 player. He puts a lot of time into that game. And then you also have BadBoy, who I haven't seen around on DE. This is the first time I saw him, which is amazing. Maybe he was still playing classic Age of Empires and decided to play some DE recently. But there is BadBoy. He's on his way to Feudal. Will he take the approach of building a second dock and going for water? He will. Very common on Nomad. The fishing ships are so important. It's contributing to that count there at the top with the economy. And ACCM spots the villager. And look at this nifty little move. He builds some palisade walls and starts the Vill fight. I think BadBoy needs to finish that dock. The villager's going to die, BadBoy. You've got to finish the dock. Oh! Did you see that? That was amazing. Okay, he tried to wall in ACCM's villager. That was a nifty little play from both. I don't think he could take out that palisade wall, so at least he gets the dock up. But he does lose the villager. And now ACCM will know, okay, he's going for the 2-dock approach. They're actually sharing fish over here. That's funny how these guys always try with the quick wall. So at least ACCM gets the Vill kill. It is possible he could lose fishing ships, though. What does ACCM know about the position of his enemy? Doesn't know much, actually. He knows he's got to be over this direction, but he doesn't know where he's collecting resources. Really good town center position for BadBoy. So much gold around, so much stone around, but also town center right on the gold, so he doesn't need a mining camp. Is ACCM going to stick around here, or what? BadBoy making fire galleys out of 2 docks. And ACCM will also make fire galleys, so that's how this game is going to start. Now, there's not that many bonuses for Lithuanians. They do have the faster trash units. They have faster working monasteries that might be needed to convert some knights or conics at some point in this game. Bulgarians, no real bonuses at all right now. None have been utilized, actually, except for, I guess, the cheaper town center at the start. They saved a bit of stone. It's mainly all about Castle Age with Bulgarians. They do get the free militia upgrades, militia line upgrades per age. That helps, but already ACCM having to run with fish. Not ideal. But now BadBoy, I guess his fish decided to go for this deep fish. They're fishing the same spot. And so he'll be doing the same thing. It looks silly, it looks messy, but this is exactly how Nomad tends to go on 1v1s. Either this or a lot of crazy towers and forwards. But fishing ships always have been a great source of food income. And now more than ever, players are going for it and are aware of that. So that's why you tend to see that crazy aggression less frequently now. Alright, BadBoy's fish are good. Over here, ACCM loses a fishing ship, but he might kill a fire galley, so things could swing back into his favor. And BadBoy bringing in some boar meat. Alright, not bad, not bad. Also, made a stable so he can make some scouts. This is tough for ACCM because he won't see that. ACCM is very much focused on the water right now, guys. So you can see how BadBoy taking an early lead with military. Very good momentum lead, and this is the expected momentum swing in this Civ matchup, I feel. Now, assuming players are playing it to perfection, of course. This has been pretty close so far. Even the micro over here from BadBoy. And he's okay, right? It's one of, like, one... Oh, nice demo! Nice demo! That's a good moment for ACCM there. But it's one of my favorite things is that I'm able to... Oh! Boom! Good demo there in Revenge. Show you guys players who you might not have ever heard of. I don't know what it's like on your end of things, but for me, like, I've known BadBoy because this has been my life for years, right? But for many of you guys, you might be like, wow, this guy's actually pretty freaking good. I've seen ACCM in recent events. I didn't know this BadBoy guy existed, but yeah, he's a beast. I actually hated playing him on Voogly. There was a lot more lag back then, so as an American playing someone from Vietnam, it was pretty rough. And he was really good with towers. And I was not so good with towers back then. Can't say I am now, either. Alright, well, I see a blacksmith and a market from ACCM. The scouts from BadBoy are over here. However, they were just attacked by just villagers, so this has actually given ACCM a bit of time to maybe adapt to this, make a barracks, and there's the barracks. So further feudal investment for BadBoy than ACCM, who wants to get to Castle Age and take advantage of the Bulgarian bonuses. This is the risk, right? Quite a few weak villagers here, could lose villagers. Oh man, and you're still focused on water where... Whoa! Holy demos! I think BadBoy just went in for a patrol there. That was another good demo shot because he weakened a fishing ship and also weakened the fires. And so ACCM losing water control. But I think BadBoy also lost his fish. So they ended up just trading fish, if you think about it. Yeah, ACCM just... I think what he decided to do there is he killed the scouts with his vills, and well done, because he has quite a few weak ones. I think what he decided to do there was snipe the fishing ships, accept that he was going to lose his own, and try his best to farm now and get to Castle Age. I think BadBoy will be disappointed with his success with the scouts. It could have been better. He did kill a villager here. He kills the spear, and now, there we go. Here's some reward. He's killing a lot of villagers. Well played. Even with the hill, could kill another one. Doink! Beautiful, beautiful value. And another one. Wow, okay. Meanwhile, his farming eco is looking good. I guess the only somewhat questionable thing for him is, yes, he killed villagers, but he also spent more food on scouts. So maybe there's potential for ACCM to get to Castle Age a bit faster. And then things could swing, man. They can really swing on a messy map like Nomad. With Bulgarians having the option to make the prep hosts, you never know if those things start coming out, and then the conics too, which I'll talk about in a bit. Wait, spoilers! I might not talk about it in a bit. Who knows if we'll get there. It's impossible, sorry, to not have a few spoilers every now and then. With the titles and thumbnails on YouTube videos, I guess. Back in the day, the way we uploaded, or I say we, but like, as a community, most people tended to upload was with just the player names and the map. Maybe the civs. But after 1,500 uploads, and with so many different games having different talking points, that got kind of stale, right? So, now, the talking point, the interesting point of the video tends to be in my titles anyways. What I consider interesting. But, good damage there from BadBoy. You can see with the KD, he's slightly ahead. After all is said and done on water, ACCM's actually adding a few fishing ships. And he still has this villager over here who I completely forgot about. And I can't believe he survived, but he's brought in quite a bit of food. Had 400 food, that guy. And the Castle Age will be faster for BadBoy, who's adding a stable. Now, Lithuanian bonuses. Let's talk about it again. In Castle Age, faster working monasteries, and the strength of knights. If they get relics, they get extra attack on their cavalry units. Actually, I think that's just the knight line, right? Or was that changed? There's a change recently. Knights and latest. Okay, and maximum of +4. Perfect. Alright. Always want to make sure. I am a part of a lot of discussion when it comes to balance and whatnot behind the scenes, and all the possibilities are discussed, and sometimes my brain can't remember which was actually implemented. Great movement from BadBoy. I've been a huge fan of how active he is with the military. Even dodging, like, for him right there, he just wants to idle ACCM's TC. He doesn't care. ACCM continues to garrison. And that's idle time, right? Alright, ACCM has quite a few spears out. ACCM's not fully walled at any point if BadBoy wants to. And he definitely has the lead. He could delete the palisades and run in. ACCM, though, 435 stone. And if you're worried about pressure, there's a unique way that you can defend from that pressure if you're Bulgarians. Also, over here, a spearman just died to villagers, which is something I didn't pick up on. But here come knights, and now BadBoy will make Monastery and a Siege Workshop. Now, in any other situation, you're thinking, this could be big, big trouble. And actually, it still can be big trouble, especially because there's a hole there! There's a hole, thanks, DE! That's one of the more frustrating things about Age of Empires, is like holes when you think you're walled. Yes, pros should check, but not ideal. Now here's the Krepost, guys. Here's the Krepost. So the Krepost will go up. This is so messy for ACCM. I do not envy him right now. Has 4 spears, no upgrades. The Knights have bloodlines. Same amount of Knights. They could probably take that fight, but the Krepost is up, and this thing has 7 range, 9 attack. We'll do a decent amount to protect, and also the spear's got a lot of hits early there with the hill too. So one Knight goes down, but this is the correct approach from BadBoy. Fight the spears immediately, and see how that goes. With no upgrades, the Knight's always going to win that. Maximum pressure coming in from BadBoy. Faster working Monastery behind this for BadBoy. Villagers getting picked off on the right, almost, and certainly to the south of ACCM's base. A BadBoy trying to make sure that ACCM's cleaned up on water, but ACCM sneaking just a few fishing ships, which I think are going to make quite a bit of difference. Now here comes the Conic. Now this unit has a base attack of 12. Compare that to a Knight, which has 10. And as far as everything else goes, I think we'll have to wait until a few more upgrades come in for it to make a whole lot of sense for you guys. But right there, conversion comes in for BadBoy. Beautiful. And these Conics are quite weak. Now check it out. When one dies... Oh, man. That's 1 HP. That's 1 hit from going down. It will survive. But when one dies, the rider gets up and continues to fight. Pretty cool. I remember when I saw that for the first time in the beta. I couldn't believe it. 8 eco lead for BadBoy, who is a very aggressive, annoying style player. He's also on 2 town centers, adding a 3rd town center. He has a huge lead right now. The only small slip-up is that he didn't clear out those fishing ships, which is doing a lot more for ACCM than you might think. It's the only thing, but he has a lot of map control and certainly has the better map. ACCM is going to try his best to use the strength of the Bulgarians to come back in the mid-game. Cheaper TCs. Only costs 50 stone and 275 wood to build that TC. Now he's saving more stone. What's a good way to come back in games? Or just get ahead in games, dropping castles. You can drop Krepost with Bulgarians. It's a way to also secure your base, right? But BadBoy decides pushing up the hill is a bad decision. And so he'll come over this direction now. Sometimes you have to take some risks, and this is the time. If you're going to play straight up against someone who has a clean boom, it's not going to work, right? So this is where ACCM figures, all right, his army's here. Time to take some risks. I'm going to send my monks over, which BadBoy notices, by the way. And I'm going to go forward and go for a bit of a risky YOLO play with my Conics and villagers. BadBoy realizes the risk, so he reacts immediately. He's placing a tower to deny this. Not a doubt castle, but a doubt Krepost. And at the same exact time, ACCM had to pull his monks back. He tried to get conversions, and now his town center is being attacked by siege, and he has a bunch of idols. Messy, messy stuff. The tower goes up for BadBoy, but the castle goes up for ACCM. So suddenly, while there was a lot of map control for BadBoy, he's going to get a bit worried by this. That TC's not protected. The tower's not going to do enough, and this could be one of many Kreposts. Now ACCM's got to be happy with that, but he also has to deal with this pressure back here. Does probably have enough military, but it always depends. If there's a conversion for BadBoy, it gets a whole lot worse. And now we just have a forward town center from ACCM. Just thank you very much. I needed gold. He was completely out of gold. If that didn't work right there, it was game over. And I don't think that he ever gets this gold if he's not Bulgarians. Because he needed the Krepost. Here comes BadBoy. BadBoy figures, alright, let's push past this. BadBoy loses his monk, loses his Magadel, and then ACCM had 2 monks waiting for conversions. So ACCM just climbed his way back into the game, and now with the power of Conics, which have more attack than the Knights, he actually blocks the escape. Beautiful move here to block the escape. And now the monks are coming from behind, so BadBoy has got to be kicking himself like, man, What do I do? Alright, one conversion and a second conversion could come in. Actually, I think both monks were used for the same unit there, which was a bit of a slip-up for ACCM. But ACCM finally has some time to breathe, guys. And he wants more. More pressure. 767 stone. It could be a castle, but you know what builds a lot faster? A crep post. Now, he doesn't really know that there's a TC here yet. BadBoy, he's been booming, and he's made a few knights, but his stables are over on the right-hand side, so now he's building another tower. And this suddenly got very, very messy, right? More military for ACCM. It was better and safer economy for BadBoy, but now this TC is getting shot by a crep post. This TC will get shot by a crep post, and ACCM is probably very happy with this decision. He actually, I was watching his stream at the time, was running the weak villagers back and forth for a little while. Loses a ton. But how much map control is he gaining? How much idle time will there be for BadBoy? Quite a bit. And now you can create these conics. Now, the conics have +2 attack over knights with the base. You get bloodlines, it's the same amount of HP. And so it's a better unit than a knight. Cost-wise, I believe it's the exact same. Actually, let's, you know what? Just to make sure I'm accurate on this. Because we don't see conics too frequently. I think there's actually, I think it might be more food and less gold. Let's see, 60 food, 75 gold for a knight. And then conic, 60 food. Okay, 70 gold. So it's actually a little bit cheaper too. Obviously there is that investment to get into the buildings to create them, but that's pretty amazing. And I'm still hearing some fighting on water, which we haven't been able to talk about. Not too much going on out there, though ACCM is still collecting more fishing ships. And now we have more crepos. What can BadBoy do? He did collect 2 relics. So that does negate that extra attack. It's 12 attack now for the knights without investing into any upgrades. And BadBoy has these idle villagers. And now he wants to build a castle here. I like this. So he wants to build a castle to kind of put a stop to this pressure. And he also wants to ram this down, which is possible depending on where ACCM sends the conics. But this TC is a goner regardless. And there's the ram. Now this crep post has 2600 HP, a town center has 2400. So with a garrison TC and a ram, looks so silly. This should be a fight that BadBoy wins if we're talking TC versus crep post. But what does that castle really change for BadBoy? I guess that stops ACCM from creeping in further. But ACCM, after climbing his way back into this game, and the eco being very much even with numbers, not necessarily idols, he has so much control of stone. He says, why can't I continue? I said earlier, the old meta in these games was towering. The meta with Bulgarians might be the Crepos Rush. Just drop them everywhere. There's some pretty big risks to that at the high level, but at the low level, if you're playing, this could work really well. And BadBoy played so good in the early game. He's slightly behind in population now. And here in this fight, I believe it's much better for ACCM, and he could have continued pressuring there if he wants. BadBoy doesn't see that crep post yet, and that's a crep post that leads to protection for another crep post, I believe. BadBoy's way over here on gold if you're wondering where he can get gold right now. So he has that. He's still making knights. But it's just full momentum for ACCM as BadBoy tries to react and expand. And this Maganel will go down. The monk went down after getting a conversion. It's funny to me how ACCM is not really investing into upgrades on these things because he's never fighting underneath TCs. He's never fighting underneath castles. He figures if the base attack is there and the numbers are there, why not take the fights? The conics are mopping up. Another building now. So at this point, how many farms, how much eco area has BadBoy have to abandon? He had to temporarily abandon this area. He's back now. This TC's dead. He abandoned like 6 to 8 farms. Here he has abandoned 6 to 8 farms. Just deletes them, gets rid of them. And another crep post will go up. And then he has to worry about, oh, do conics pressure the right side? ACCM's being super annoying and repairing this one. Finally, BadBoy gets some retaliation in, but ACCM's booming well behind this with a big eco lead. The Knights, though, with that attack, will slice and dice villagers pretty quickly. A few Conics now arrive, and I think BadBoy wants some room to breathe, so it's almost forced into making some Rams. Not something you would have expected at the start of this game, to see Blue get so much map control back. And great job from him to keep fishing ships working, even adding more when he had the opportunity. He actually has 10 fishing ships right now, and also having the amazing economy on lands too. Scale barding on the way, something that ACCM already has, but BadBoy's getting it now. That fight was pretty close. Of course, the dismounted Conic will continue to fight. And there's just 1, 2, 3, 4 Krepos. it's ridiculous. And now finally ACCM's going to build a stable. He's a lot of these Conics. I think he'll go for Bloodlines and probably Husbandry. And he also went for Forging there, so now he's at 13 attack. And he'll have 120 HP. I think ACCM, after seeing a few Rams, is very much aware of what's about to go down. He saw the Rams, he sees the Knights are over here, so he figures, okay, I need to hold this. That, or he was considering just pushing himself, because he has a Ram inside his own Siege Workshop. So if Conics are better than a Knight with the attack, and same on the amount of HP, should be fantastic here, right? The max melee armor, the max armor in general in Castle Age is the exact same between a Knight and a Conic. So it's just the difference between that base attack and the cost. I see some raiding over here on this side. Actually, great conversions from BadBoy. He converted 2 Conics. This is funny to me, how the dismounted Conic could attack things still. You delete the unit so it doesn't get converted, and then the rider's still there. Poor guy. But yeah, BadBoy realized I can't push that. And BadBoy at this point is probably thinking, well, geez, he probably gained an eco lead. I don't know what to do now. He's getting full upgrades on the Conics. Chain barding armor. We'll see these things at their full potential in the Castle Age. Villagers die so quickly to this. And now we have a castle drop from BadBoy, so he's using similar logic to ACCM, where he would go for some castle drops, only he can't make Krepos. Pretty amazing. And ACCM can just run right through. If he feels like he can't take a fight, he should just go right back to one of his Krepos. He has them everywhere. ACCM using his Krepost to range the Vills. Could maybe kill one. I think that castle will go up, and now there's a Siege Workshop. And guys, this is a messy game. So 14 attack against... Oh, wow. Okay. Because of the Forging upgrade, it's 13 attack for the Knights. And then same amount of armor. Is it 1 less Pierce then? Okay, so it's 1 less Pierce armor for the Conic. I wasn't aware of that. Actually, I recall mentioning that earlier. In like a video a few weeks ago, but I just don't see the units enough. That's how I get my knowledge, is just seeing the units, playing the game, and casting the game. And BadBoy is actually on the way to the Imperial Age, and ACCM, as he loses a bunch of units, decides, no. I'm going all in production. So I'm going to ram this down. I'm going to use my Conics with the 14 attack and my Krepos to take this down. And he's just going all in. And why not, man? Why not when you have this many units? BadBoy's doing his best. He has 14 units here. He's repairing the castle. He's hoping at the very least he can take out the Rams. And then if the castle's still up, he can make Trebs to start trebbing down the Krepos in the Imperial Age. You'll notice there's still a lot of arrow fire from the Krepos. You'll notice there's more resources for ACCM because he has not put 1,000 food and 800 gold into the Imperial Age. There's very few Knights. And there's Conics everywhere. Yeah, I mean everywhere. They are coming out of all of these Krepos. The castle will go down. It's 48 food eco for ACCM, who's still been fishing behind all of this. And he has the farming eco. He has expanded his eco so well. BadBoy just... He made the classic mistake. I don't even know if all-in Castle Age would have worked for him here, but he made the classic mistake of going to the Imperial Age too early. ACCM realized that and said, okay, that's cool. Well, I'm going to spend 1,000 food and 800 gold on units. And these are units that are better, right? And 37 military against 7. Very hard to come back from this one now. if you're BadBoy. BadBoy hits the Imperial Age. He's trying to make knights. Look how quickly the buildings die to these conics. It's iconic. I'm sorry. That was bad. I agree. It was really bad. But ACCM takes out one stable. A BadBoy will probably want the Cavalier upgrade, but all of his stables are around here. Still keeping an eye on the other side. Remember, he can't really breathe or expand anywhere, right? Everything's in the middle here. It's so messy. Only 20 farmers. Cavalier upgrade on the way in this stable. Oh, and if he loses the monastery, he loses that +2 attack from the relics. Castle from ACCM. ACCM also wants to drop another crepe post, and he's also making barracks with pikemen. So just in case the Cavalier was strong enough, he wants to make sure that he has pikemen with his conics, and I don't even think it's needed here. 180 population for ACCM and 90 population for BadBoy. That puts him behind by as much population as he has. ACCM has exploded with population, and guys, what a game from ACCM. That was crazy. I loved that. Now, if we're talking tier lists, which people seem to really like, people like lists, I've realized, and I don't really do that. Maybe I should make some lists. People might enjoy it. But if I was putting Bulgarians on a scale of 1 to 10, I guess, or A to F, I don't know, I wouldn't put Bulgarians very high, right? I'd still say they're a mid-tier nomad civilization. But you know how it goes. It depends, doesn't it? It always depends. I just realized this whole time that I had my Twitch chat at the bottom right. I'm sorry, I hope that didn't annoy you guys. But it depends on so much. And if you get to certain situations with certain civilizations, they can be stronger than many. And I think Bulgarians are one of them in the mid-game on Nomad. Could also be any map because of the strength in the conics and the castle drops. But I think particularly on Nomad, because there's so much stone, and because things get so messy, you can go for this. If ACCM was another civilization when he arrived to Castle Age, he would have been so much further behind. Lithuanians would have had the extra attack on the knights. BadBoy had the better boom. And what was the comeback move was that recognition from ACCM. BadBoy's main force was down here, and that he could go forward for YOLO Krepos drop. It's hard to say what BadBoy could have done a bit differently in that situation because it was the correct move to take ACCM completely off of gold. I guess you could say that if he had stopped the Krepos with the tower or had a few knights arrive to that vulnerable area, he could have denied it entirely. But good game. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And I've been asking your opinion recently on what you think of Civilization. So give me your thoughts on the conic. Give me your thoughts on the Krepos. I think that it's a civilization and a unit that can be incredibly strong in many situations, as I've said like 6 times already. The KD was pretty even. Economically, ACCM had more food, but you have to remember over the last 10 minutes of that game, ACCM he was like a boa constrictor, and he was constricting and slowly surrounding BadBoy's eco. BadBoy probably deleted more farms than he had near the end there. Maybe if BadBoy would have gone for all-in night production, that would have been his comeback move. I do agree with him going to the Imperial Age, though. I just say that because he was already behind in Castle Age. So continuing to try something you're losing with is probably not the play there. It's just ACCM outplayed him. Right here. This was the lead. The military lead and the eco lead for BadBoy. But ACCM, with his class and strength, has slowly started pulling things back with the Krepos and the conics. Props to BadBoy, though. Good to see this guy playing and online, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Continuously trying to mix it up. I'm actually going to put a lot more focus on civilizations over the next few weeks because these patches are coming out. Bulgarians were affected a bit. They benefit from that. They no longer get Paladin, and now Stirrups affects their Cavalier, which is cool, as well as their conics. But I think there's civs that are being played a bit more frequently now, and I want you guys to see it on YouTube. Anywho, I have an old Bulgarians video, not the overview if you saw that one, but it was Tim against what other player? I think Tim versus Backed. So another strong Vietnamese player and pro against Tim, who's a legend of the game from China. And Tim played Bulgarians against Aztecs on an Arabia-like map, where Aztecs is seen as top 5. So that's going to be suggested here-ish, or here-ish, or here-ish, or here-ish. I'm not sure. But if you really like Bulgarians and you'd like to see it in a different situation, give it a shot and watch the video. Anyways, I'll see you soon, guys, whether it's low elo legends or expert games or YouTube-only content or both. Much love. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. See ya.